and set on his head in a section written, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Then were two thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand, the other on the left. And they passed by, reviled him, wagging their heads, and saying, "Thou that destroyed the temple and build it in 3 days, save thyself, if thou be the Son of God. Come down from the cross." Likewise also the chief priests mocking him with the scribes and the elders, saying, "He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he be," let me try that again. "If he be the King of Israel, let him now," somebody said now, "come down from the cross, and we will believe him." Can you say amen? Amen. I want to use for a thought in mind, Pastor Adams, what will bring you down? What will bring you down? You may be seated. To the pulpit guest, to this great man of God that we're celebrating today, to the beautiful wife, but all praises be to God. Years ago, I got into the ministry, and I've always said when I was a young boy coming up, I said that when I get older, I want to have me a big house. I wanted a house so big that when the housekeeper come to get me for breakfast, about the time I make my way downstairs, it's lunchtime. That was a big house, wasn't it? But then I messed around, and God blessed it, and he called me into the ministry. First of all, I ran from it. It ain't no way in the world, Lord, you can be calling me. But when I finally accepted the calling, and I was charged, and I was ready to go take on the world, of course, I wanted a large church. I wanted a large congregation. But just like my house, when I grew up and found out responsibilities and what goes on with that house, the bigger the house, the bigger the light bill. Bigger the water bill, bigger the taxes come along with it. My house began to shrink just a little bit. But just as I got into the ministry, I wanted to be a Cutthroat Dollar, T.D. Jakes, big fellas. But when I learned what pastoring was all about, my house shrunk again. Because I knew that every word that was uttered out of my mouth, I was being held responsible for. Responsibility from the pastor. That's something to make you sweat at night. But you have church folks unsatisfied. I ain't satisfied if you preach for a long time. Ain't satisfied if you preach for just a moment. Some is not satisfied if you stand up and just say, "Jesus wept, let's go home." They still unsatisfied. Years ago, I heard a story once about a cow, and it was a bull that was in a pasture. So that bull was in a pasture. It had 6 heifer cows in the pasture with him. But he was the only bull. And all he had to do was eat grass and service them cows. But in the next pasture over from him, there were 3 other cows in a pasture by himself. And he was paying none of his 6 cows any attention. He just just kept his nose up against the fence, just thinking and saying to himself, boy, I wish I could get over there. Wasn't paying no attention to what he had, just kept his nose. I just wish I could just get over there for them other 3 cows. Day in and day out, he's looking back and forth, trying to find a way to get to those other cows over there. So as it would happen, one day he took it all that he could take, and the barbed wire fence between them, and he bagged up and got him a good running start and leaped as high as he could over the barbed wire fence. Barbed wire fence cut it all under his stomach, but he was falling over on the other side, and he was just so happy that he was over where those cows was. When he realized he was over there, he jumped up and started charging up the hill to where those cows was. But when he got up to where the cows was, he discovered that they were bulls too. So you need to be satisfied with what you got. Because you don't know what you got. I ain't gonna be before you long. It should be Pastor Adams invited me to come and to preach the gospel. He said, we're going to have a morning service, we're going to have an evening service. He said he was going to have his father to preach the morning service. And going to have me to do the evening service. I said, that's a setup to start with. And I got in this morning and heard this man preach. And I was saying to myself then, I ain't coming back this evening. Ooh, Lordy. Because I already know where this is going to end up. But now I can't preach like Pastor Adams. And I can't hoop like it. Can't shout like it. And I sure can't sing like it. But one thing that I can do, that I know that we can do in the gospel as far as in the Baptist church. Do y'all remember something that goes something like, Father, I stretch my hand to thee, Lord, the help I know, if thou withdraw thyself from me, oh, where the step I go. But then I can remember in the Baptist church, so after you get a hymn like that, somebody in the audience will say something like, when I rose this morning, I said, thank you, Lord. When I rose this morning, y'all know something about that. Then somebody else will say, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall. There you go. Come on, come on. Say, the Lord is my shepherd. But then it come down to somebody like me when God called me to preach, and I thought about this thing here. There's one thing I know. I've been born again. One thing I know, I've been born again. I'm going to leave you alone with that. I'm going to leave it alone. But Pastor Adams, back to you. You ain't off the hook. I want to know today what will bring you down. No, it's a good thing when you sitting high. Everything going good. Everybody loves you. Got plenty of money. And everywhere you go, folks greet you with a smile. Glad to see you, Pastor. Brother Adams, how are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Boy, good to see that you're doing well. Family looking good. Everybody praising your name. But somewhere down the line, I want to be able to be the first one to tell you, everything ain't going to be glory all the time. Jesus, our Lord and Master, preached. He was teaching, the master teacher. Jesus, my Lord and Savior. I don't know about you all, but I know he's my Lord and Savior. Came down through 42 generations. Came on down because the Father sent his only Son. I've heard it over the years that preachers have said that Jesus said to the Father, Father, prepare me a body, and I'll go and redeem man. But for what I read, John 3:16, they tell me that for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. Somewhere down the line that lets me know that God sent his Son, and his Son was so obedient to go. The Son came down to live among sinful folks. You know us. Sitting high, looking low, criticizing everything and everybody. But somewhere down the line, Jesus began to teach the gospel, teach the written word. Nothing that he made up on his own, but teaching the gospel of his Father. And as he began to teach the gospel, now began to lay hands on the sick, raising folks from the dead, doing all manner of good deeds around them, laying hands on folks that was blind. Then on top of that, he had the nerve to feed a multitude of folks with just 2 fish, 5 body loads. Don't that just gets on your nerve when folks like that have the audacity to mess up a good thing? Don't you know we was charging for left and right for meals, but here this fella come along and decide to feed everybody and then charge them a dime? Don't you just hate it when somebody comes along and just mess up a good thing? Get on the rector's cage, make no money, because every time Jesus somewhere around touched the widow's son and he got up, that hell is celebration all over. Somebody need to do something about this man called Jesus Christ. But just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, went down to the graveyard. You know he was down there. Man, he was minding the hogs down there. Out around inside the graveyard, man, there was a wild man. We had already put that man out from among us, because you know us, church folks. We don't want crazy folks around us. Man, talking to himself, and scratching and biting and cleaning. We don't need that nonsense around us. We put him out there in the graveyard to his own self. Changing down to the point where we know he can't get no farther than the graveyard. Had this man come Jesus again. Lo and behold, the man ran up to him. Yeah, buddy. He been again. I know he ain't got no sense to walk up to this crazy man. But the man ran up to Jesus. What am I to do with thee, thou Son of God? Wait a minute, what? The Son of God? This ain't no Son of God. This ain't a real preacher. This somebody that just messed up. You say, my name is Lee. Please, go into. I can't have the halls, but leave my child alone. To the halls, and the halls had sense enough to go into the river and have demons there. Don't you just hate me? Now he done healed. Now the man seems sane. But I don't know about it. He may look sane. But you know it's still something wrong with it. So he had to speak it in a plain tongue. You know, we need plain English. You know, us English is not too good sometimes. In the resurrection. Jesus. Because they are